Morning MouseHunt, welcome. Feedback Friday, March 18th. How's everybody in the chat room doing today? Saying hello, starting up, hello. Morning, good morning, hello. Good morning. Well, we have a few things to go over today. We're going to do some quick announcements about the birthday ending and about mobile. A quick little tour of behind the scenes, what we're working on here, what to expect to come out next. A quick trivia question, and that'll wrap things up for today. So a couple quick announcements to start off with. One is the birthday event is ending soon, so the cupcake birthday celebration will come to an end this coming Monday. That's March 21st. It'll be around 11 a.m. EDT, so actually the time that Feedback Friday is right now. So if you're watching in the chat room, the event will probably end around this time. And if you're watching it recorded, you could maybe see when this video was first broadcast. The vacant lot will be around after the birthday ends to allow hunters to ship out any cupcake orders that they may have remaining. But the vacant lot will only be around for a short time. It'll be around for 2 days, and it'll close on Thursday, March the 23rd. It will close on that day. Cupcakes have a short shelf life. They will go, that's a bit of a tongue twister, short shelf life. They do go stale, so make sure you ship all your cupcakes you can before March 23rd. That'll be, on that day, it'll get shut down. So before March 23rd, you want to make sure you ship all the cupcakes you can to get all the rewards you can. The second announcement here has to do with mobile. Yesterday, actually now it was 2 days ago, there was a problem with an Android update. It was version 1.29.0, and there's a problem with the cupcake section in the app was not working correctly. So we looked into the problem, and we had to upload a new update to Google Play. That is up now. The version number is now 1.30.0. Now, to correct this, we had to actually ship it with a few other updates as well at the same time that we were planning for the next update, well, the 1.30 update. So we just shipped that early, and we fixed the cupcake problem in that build. So there's a whole host of other new little mobile features as well in that update. So if you are missing the cupcake HUD info in your Android app, make sure you update from Google Play as soon as you can, and the cupcakes will be back along with some other features. And today as well, we're going to be going through the process of uploading that for iOS, but that'll be pending review from Apple, so it might be a few days before that mobile update goes up for Apple on the iTunes store there. Question from the chat about when St. Patrick's Day event ends. It's going to go until the end of the birthday, so from yesterday right up till the end of the birthday, which is on Monday. The Luck Mouse will be around. The bonuses to green cupcakes and rainbow charms will also be around. The behind the scenes. What we're working on next is the spring egg hunt, which we're just wrapping up some final loose ends, doing a little bit of last play testing. This year's spring egg hunt will focus entirely on what were called bonus eggs last year. I'm going to do air quotes on bonus eggs, meaning there's no need to recalibrate your excavator. There's no chocolate factory. That said, there are still the event mice around. So event mice will arrive when the spring egg hunt starts, and they'll be found in various major hunting hubs throughout the kingdom. Mice in those locations will drop Marshmallow Monterey, and when you arm the Marshmallow Monterey in those locations, you can attract the event mice. The event mice will drop excavator charge charms, extra charms as loot. Additionally, they will drop the 10 sort of special eggs, the ones with especially good contents, usually Super Breeze inside those ones, that you can collect once per year. So it's like the green, the blue Argyle egg, the green plaid egg, the pink stripy egg, there might be and the golden egg. You can all collect those all once, but the event mice will drop those, the egg painters specifically. So you'll need to hunt with Marshmallow Monterey if you want to get those eggs. That said, there's no need, you can skip that entirely because you don't need to calibrate your excavator at all this year. You can go right into hunting in Fungal Cavern, Labyrinth, Warpath, wherever you want to hunt for eggs. You can just immediately start hunting for those eggs if that's what you choose to do. And finally, at those same locations, you will be able to exchange Marshmallow Monterey at the shop, and you can just buy excavator charms usually in your stockpile of Marshmallow Monterey, so you don't need to hunt the event mice if you don't want to, but they're there if you want to earn a King's Crown, or if you want to hunt for them while you're in those King's Crowns, you'll also get a few, you also get drops of charms, etc. The other thing we've been working on is the Feroma Rift, and we've actually started drawing mice. So art is underway over the Feroma Rift, which is planned to be sort of the next non-event release coming out to the game. Today we want to kind of wrap up some of our early play testing on the prototype, kind of firm those things up, because we want to get more serious dev work started next week and actually start working on the more of the sort of final version of it, and then it'll be a lot easier to kind of share more details as that all comes together. The Feroma Rift, or Feroma, the non-Rift version of Feroma, you may recall that many hunters, this is where they first came across droid technology by constructing the ambush trap while they're in Feroma, and the Feroma Rift kind of continues this theme by putting droids to good use. The pagoda in the Rift is carefully protected by something that prevents human life forms from entering the pagoda. Now, droid hint, there's a big hint, because I'm sure hunters will be able to find some way to get their trap inside the pagoda without a human entering the pagoda itself. So that's a little bit of a hint at where we're working, or what we're working on as well when it comes to the Feroma Rift. But it's still a little early to go into more details, but hopefully next week we'll get working on it a little bit more of a serious capacity. Uh-oh, somebody having problems with the game. It's working for me. Okay, somebody in the chat room said they're having trouble loading MouseHunt, but it does seem to be working. If you're having any time issues, daylight savings time did just kick in. Or it ended. I can never remember which is which. I guess we're EDT now, so I think we're in Eastern Daylight Time. So in the user settings of MouseHunt, you can set your time. So if it didn't sync up, if you're not playing on Facebook, then there's really no way to sync it up. You can go to the settings and you can choose which time zone you want to be in. It'll fix the MH game timer seems stuck from the chat. Yes, it does. That is concerning. All right, let me message somebody to take a look right away. Okay, Giorgio's taking a look right now. So hopefully, shortly, that is fixed. In the meantime, we'll have to set a timer for 15 minutes apparently. Finally, what else we're working on is the mobile update, actually, which just came out. And if you haven't downloaded it, or if you don't have an Android device because it's still in the works for iOS, here's some of what it looks like. And whew, I'm broadcasting in low quality. I don't know how that looks in the chat room, but that's pretty low quality screenshot right there. There is it will include access to the excavator. It'll be in the camp section. You'll be able to see the spring egg hunt, that little blurry text at the bottom. What else do we got here? We have, oh, not that screenshot. Trying to find it. There you go. Another feature that is on the Android app now and coming soon to iOS is trap favorites as well. So you'll be able to save up to 3 combinations of a weapon, base, cheese, charm, and skin. You can give the setup a name of your choosing, and then you can arm that entire setup with a single tap of a button. So you could name it Warpath, or Iceberg Deep Run, or Labyrinth with Labyrinth Lantern on, and then Zocor Power Setup, or something like that. You can name them whatever you want. That helps you remember when you like to use that setup. And then one tap, you can arm all 5 of those components, including the trap skin too. Something else in the update that is out for Android and coming soon to iOS is a treasure map improvement. So this, I think we're taking a look at the treasure map when I'm not on a treasure map. So you can now view and send invites to treasure maps, and I don't think I have any invites in this screenshot, otherwise you'd see them. Actually, I'm not connected to Facebook, so that's why I'm not seeing any treasure map invites. You can also browse your inventory of scroll cases now from the mobile app. There's also a link to see the hint of where the Relic Hunter mouse can currently be found, as well as easy travel links to all the locations in the game that sell scrolls at the cartographer as well. What else do we have here? There's a couple little minor things as well. Here's that. In the travel section now at the bottom, That X button or the arrow button up at the top is a little bit far away to stretch your thumb, so we added a back to camp button right at the bottom center of the travel map as well. It's a little closer to your thumb, a little easier to close the travel map if you don't end up traveling somewhere. And what else we have here? There's a new advanced settings section in the app as well, and it has a few new advanced settings. So actually I don't have it expanded in the screenshot, but the sounds as well, you can expand the sounds and you can choose which sound effects you want to turn off on and off individually. So you could turn off just the hunter's horn sound effect, but leave on the tap sound you hear as you navigate through the app. Or you could turn off the sound the footprints make while you're hunting, but leave the hunter's horn on, or any other combination that you want. There's also some advanced settings here. We have early horn notifications. So you can receive your notification for your horn 15 seconds early. However, I think I'm going to lower that to 10. I was playing with that last night and I thought it was still a little too early to get my notification. I had to wait still 5 or 6 seconds before I could tap it. So I'm going to lower that down to 10 in the next update. But it's handy for things like tournaments or any other times you want to make sure you sound your horn right at the 15-minute mark. You get the notification a little bit early. As Michelle let people in the chat know, the timer should now be fixed. Let's see if it's fixed for me. Yes, indeed, it's ticking down. Okay, well that was a little odd, but it's working. The timer's working correctly again. Finally, here in the advanced settings, we also have an option to refresh hunter data on resume. So what that is, when the app goes into the background, when you resume it back into the foreground, you'll get a little loading screen, and it quickly goes and checks things like your gold, your cheese, when you last sounded your horn, and it updates the app to the latest state. So if a trap check happened or somebody took you on a hunt since you last viewed the app, it'll be up to date with your game in its current, most recent state. Actually here, we can take a quick little spin through some of these things as well. So this is running the latest update. I have version 1.30.0 here, and you can see it includes the spring egg hunt content here. So I'm not running this against the live version of the game. This is in a test version where the spring egg hunt has started. Now you can pick up an excavator if you don't have one, although I'd imagine most people watching this probably have an excavator in their inventory. And like I was saying, there's no need to recalibrate it. You can immediately start finding eggs in your location. So this is the dojo student egg because I'm in the dojo. You can quickly arm different types of charms. So if I want to arm an excavator charm, it can be good to go. And then when I hunt, I should hopefully get a charge if I capture a mouse. And I did, yay. Got a low charge egg, all right. Diamond egg. Apparently I haven't finished the tutorial on this build. There you go. Now I have a diamond egg. You can kind of view it. It's a little bit larger egg. You can check out the artwork. It's a little blurry. We need a higher resolution version of that we're still maybe working on. Now here's what's different a little bit about this year's spring egg hunt is there's no chocolate factory, so you can collect marshmallow Monterey in various locations throughout the kingdom. And so now the mobile app will tell you if you can or can't collect Marshmallow Monterey there. It'll also show you a list of all the areas in the game where you can collect Marshmallow Monterey. And now the normal mice that you would normally find in these locations, they will drop Marshmallow Monterey, and when you arm the marshmallow cheese, you will attract event mice that drop charms. And you can then take those charms and use them anywhere you like. So you could use them in the labyrinth or the warpath or the living garden, wherever you like. And these will just kind of quickly take you to the map to allow you to travel to somewhere where you can collect Monterey. But that said, there's no need to actually hunt in those locations. You can just jump straight into collecting the bonus eggs as well. See if I can find a spot where I cannot collect Monterey. Like, oh, I don't know. Where can I not collect it? The mountain. The little heads up area here will tell you, well, I can't find Marshmallow Monterey here. It'll also not encourage you to arm Marshmallow Monterey because you will not attract any mice here while you use it. And you can tap for info to see the locations where you can collect Marshmallow Monterey. And then of course you can see all the eggs in the game. They're grouped by where you can find them. You can see how many you've collected. Like I'm in the mountain and I do have the diamond egg. which I can crack open. Show you kind of what some of these advanced settings are doing, although this is now in the Google Play Store, so you could use this on Android. If I say, hey, I want to refresh my Hunter data on app resume, then when I send this into the background, when you open it up again, if I actually open up the MouseHunt app, you get a little refresh hunting data. And basically, you know, if you haven't opened it up in several minutes or hours and something happened in the game, something used up a piece of cheese or somebody sent you gold, anything that could have happened to you without you knowing that when that loader clears, everything will be up to date. And comment in the chat, I will upload higher resolution screenshots to the summary. That's all good to go. So it's just because I'm broadcasting in not the greatest quality that things are a little bit blurry. And we'll be looking for feedback as well. Here in the advanced settings, you can see early horn notification. Now that's going to be hard to demo here because you have to wait 15 minutes to see it and stuff. But basically, if you check that off, then instead of after you sound your horn, instead of getting a notification in 15 minutes, you'll get it in 14 minutes and 45 seconds. And like I said, in the next update, I think we're going to lower that down to 10 because 15 seemed a little too early when I was playing around with that last night. But we can definitely get feedback to see maybe what's a good amount of time to be early for people that are using that, which would likely be hunters in tournaments, I would think. Finally, what else do we have in the mobile app? We have the favorite setups. So now you can see there's a button down at the bottom, and I can see I saved a setup and I called it Egg Basket. So if I hit arm, I'll go back to my trap, and then it'll change out to arm what I want. And now to get a better sense of that, I'm going to really change my setup here. I guess I'll use the School of Sharks. Maybe I'll use the title base. That looks nice together, sure. Maybe I'll use Toxic Super Brie here in the mountain because, you know, the mice are awfully hard to capture using the School of Sharks in the mountain. I think I need the extra power boost for sure. I'll use a Dark Chocolate Charm, and oh, I don't have any of the shark skin, so I guess I'm not using any of those. So now when I go to my favorite setups, and I can see Egg Basket here, I'll tell you what, why don't I save this? And I'm going to call it Sharky Time. Sharks Time, sure, Sharks Time. When you save that, you can kind of see the setup. You can change the name at any time if you like. You can delete it with the X button, but here I'm going to change back to my Egg Basket setup. And then everything kind of slides into place, and you can kind of see everything that changed. And it even, you know, part of the setup was a skin as well. And I'm in the spring hunt mood, so I even have the dimensional Egg Basket skin armed. You can also see to the little button down here in the bottom right corner of the trap, it glows gold when you're using one of your favorite setups. So if, let's say if I change my setup actually here, so you know, maybe I don't want to use this, so I'll go back to using, or hey, I'll use the Chrome Monster Bot. It's a good choice for the mountain. So now it's no longer glowing gold, that star, but if I tap it, I can kind of quickly make this a favorite. And I can call it Robots Are Cool, because robots are cool. And I save it, and I go and I can see, oh cool, robots are cool, and I got the Chrome Monster Bot, the Papyrus Base, and Super Brie armed. I can easily switch back to my School of Sharks if I want. And I think that's a quick run-through of everything you can see in it now in the mobile app. I guess I can show here, I didn't have a screenshot of it, but the sound section, you can either turn off all your sounds all at once, or you can just start turning off individual sound effects if you like. So I can leave navigation events on, and that means when I click camp, I'll hear a clicking sound. The hunting sounds are things like the footprints and the snap sound the trap makes when you capture a mouse. And the hunter's horn is obviously the hunter's horn. So that's a quick demo of what is in the 1.30.0 update for MouseHunt that is available on Google Play, and it's coming soon to iOS. Android got it first because we had to fix a bug to do with the cupcake, and the only way we could really upload a new build was we actually had to kind of speed up how quickly we wanted to put that update out. It was scheduled to be the next update, but it kind of came out a little earlier. But I'm going to submit that for iOS very, very soon. In the chat, somebody was asking, why don't you have any of those shark skins? This is just a test account that I kind of quickly set up. It's not using the live version of the game. And actually, in this test version, you can sound the horn as much as you like, which is a nice feature. I don't know if we should bring that to the actual version of the game, though. So I can go on a hunt, and hey, the horn's ready still. Cool. But for testing purposes, that's a lot easier to test the game. Being able to sound your horn every second rather than every 15 minutes. So finally, brings us to trivia question. Larry has rewards for a trivia question which I'm sure will not stump anybody in the chat. And this trivia question is, how much power and how much luck does the Rainbow Luck Charm have? So you can find Rainbow Luck Charms right now. There's a small St. Patrick's Day event going. Every time a mouse drops a rainbow cupcake, they will also drop a Rainbow Luck Charm as well. In addition to all the green cupcake bonuses. 48, 47, 12, 8, 12. Okay, someone has the luck correct. Uh-oh, maybe I got this wrong. Uh-oh, I don't know the answer. This happens far too often. All right, I think somebody has the correct answer because everyone's saying 800 power and 12 luck. I didn't think it had 800 power. Let's just do a double check. If this will load ever so slowly, I could actually probably... There we go. And the rainbow... Yes, 800 power, 12 luck is correct, despite what I thought the answer was, which was 300 power. No, 800 power is correct. I guess I took the 8 and I sawed it in half mentally, and I just saw 3, which is kind of like half of an 8. So I'll blame that. But yes, that is correct. Larry has a reward link. And there's a reward link in the chat. If you're watching this recorded, if you head to the Tavern section of the forum, I will post a summary, and the link will be at the bottom there. No sound. Uh-oh. Oh, I have sound. All right. Thanks, Larry and Dave. You're welcome. I'll pass your thanks on to Larry next time I see him walking around the office in a full suit of armor. You can usually hear him coming. Well, if there's any questions in the chat, we'll field those quickly. Today, actually, I have a very full plate. I gotta go get back down, get my head down at the desk because Feroma Rift, I've been a little bit behind on finishing up some play testing and some finalizing things for the Feroma Rift. So that's gonna be my day today. I'm gonna have to maybe put the headphones on, put my head down at my desk, put up the Do Not Disturb sign, and try to finish that by the deadline that I've set for myself today. A website or a chat from the website, a question from the chat room is, will we get the favorites feature for the website? We're trying it out on mobile first. We're going to see what hunters, what sort of feedback we get. There's a few other little tweaks and changes we might like to do with it based on feedback, but I mean, if hunters like it, we'll definitely consider bringing it to the website as well. It might be a little extra work because it might be odd if the favorites that you have on mobile are not the same as on the website, so we'll have to actually have some sort of server-side storage for that. Currently, if you set up your 3 favorite trap setups and you reinstall the application, you will lose those 3 setups. They're just kind of stored locally. But if we expand this a little bit more and we make it work in the browser as well, I'd imagine that might be a little frustrating, so we'll probably sync it up so that it gets saved on our servers so you don't have to reset it up. Is there Feedback Friday next week? I do not believe so. It is a holiday here, so I don't think we'll be broadcasting. But that is a good note to maybe put up a news sticker and make sure the banner doesn't go up next week. Which actually the banner was off by an hour because of daylight savings time, which is just another reason why programmers across the world hate daylight savings time. A suggestion from the chat to split up event mice into different ones. There are definitely getting to be a lot of event mice in the game. I think the mouse section of the game as a whole, we've been meaning to maybe redesign it, and that's definitely one of the contributing factors, so I agree that's a good idea. Will there be more favorite setup slots in the future is a question from the chat. I think we will probably expand. We're going to see how much hunters use it, how actively they're using it, to know whether we want to spend more time building out that feature a little bit more. So if you like it, start using it. Start using it like crazy. Let us know that you like it, and that'll be good feedback that we should expand on it. Are there any new mice in the spring egg hunt? No, there are no new event mice this year. The 10, I don't really know what to call them. The 10, I don't want to say the main eggs, but the 10 sort of special spring hunt eggs. The event mice will be dropping them, but and there's certainly new bonus eggs, although they're not really bonus eggs anymore because I think they're pretty much the focus of the event, but no new mice this year. If you're outside the birthday zone, can you get cupcake drops from the Lucky Mouse? No, you need to be in the birthday area to get cupcake drops from the Lucky Mouse. I believe so anyway. I could, unless I'm mistaken. Another hunter confirmed. No, does not drop cupcakes outside the event area. Weekend events, a question from the chat. There's something that we do from time to time. Most recently, we've maybe even expanded them, making them a little bit longer than a weekend. So they're just sort of mini events, we tend to call them. The most recent one was the Labyrinth. We did a Sunken City one, not too long. Actually, maybe that was a little bit a while ago now, come to think of it. But it's definitely something that's still on our radar, and when there's sort of a gap in between releases, it's a nice little thing to kind of put out there, and if somebody's looking for something to do, or if they don't have a goal in mind, it's a nice little mini event to do. Will there be a toxic spill during the spring egg hunt? Yes, there will be. There are toxic spill eggs to collect, so there will definitely be a spill then. Although it seems a little bit odd that we're planning a natural disaster to happen at the lab, but those less than competent keepers of the lab, I guess the mice are just going to be up to mischief that time of year. Actually, a question from the chat was the watch and add button from the app doesn't work for me. On Android, we're fixing that. We're aware there's a bit of an issue. And once you tap it, on iOS it works. It's actually a little interesting. We have that button there because when the app gets reviewed by Apple, the reviewer needs to be able to see an ad because the app makes use of what they call the advertising identifier. And so part of the terms and conditions are, well, if you use the advertising identifier, you must serve ads in your application, which we do from time to time, but they're very, very few and far between. So we needed a way that we could say, hey, reviewer, here you go. You can see that, yes, ads are implemented in the game. It's just you don't see them very much, if at all. So we had that button there, and we thought, well, we'll leave it. If anybody wants to tap it, they can watch an ad, and then the button hides itself, and then you can't tap it again. But it's not working on Android right now. A question from the chat was, we never get to hear things about the devs themselves outside of Jacob. I'm curious what other games you play other than MouseHunt. Well, I guess we keep the topic on Feedback Friday a lot about MouseHunt itself. I guess it's because it'll definitely be a topic that is interesting to all mouse hunters because everyone's interested in MouseHunt. So that's probably why we focus more on MouseHunt than ourselves. Will you need both the current crystal laser traps for the Feroma Rift? I think you can take your pick. As always, it's the one's lucky and one's powerful. So they both have little niche applications. That said, you could probably get by with just one, just like in the Burroughs Rift. You can get by with just one, or the Whisker Woods Rift. You don't need both, but it's beneficial to have the both if you really want to min-max. In the app, is there a way to choose no charm for favorite? Yes, there is. You set, if you save a trap favorite without a charm, it will disarm your current charm. I believe. Let's go try that out quick. I remember discussing what it should do. So let's disarm my charm. Uh-oh, I gotta clear out a slot first. Alright. No charms for sharks. With an X too. That's when you know it's serious business. So I have arm and ultimate luck charm in the mountain. That's not overkill at all. I think that's a totally reasonable setup. And then I'm going to arm my no charms for sharks. and it disarmed my charm. Ah, you cannot clear it from your currently saved favorite. That is interesting. That might be a good point. So no charms for sharks. If I now say, well, darklet charms, dark chocolate charms. Ah, yeah, that's a good point. That's a little awkward as there's no disarm. Let's see what we can do. In the meantime, if you arm this is a little bit of an awkward flow, but what you can do is you can arm your setup and say, I don't want this dark chocolate charm anymore. So I can go and delete the setup, go back and, don't do that. I think we should probably wrap things up here, offline. There we go, people in the chat room are saying offline. It looks like the stream is restarting. I'll probably come back to people shortly. I'll wait for somebody in the chat. Back, hello. Thank you for the welcome back. That is probably a little message saying that I should wrap things up here. So thanks for joining me, hunters. I don't believe there's going to be a Feedback Friday next week. It is a holiday here, so the office will not be open. So we'll see you in 2 weeks from now. And I'm not sure which one of us will see you then, because it will probably be me, because the second Friday of each month we do a art one. So I think you'll see me in 2 weeks from now. It'll be April 1st. Maybe I just won't show up at all and it'll be a joke. There are 5 Fridays in April. Well, there we go. It's a well-deserved Feedback Friday off then, I guess, with so many in the month. One last question from the chat. When the Easter event starts, it should be coming next week unless something horrible happens and we're unable to do that. But that is part of the reason why the vacant lot is around for just a short period of time for the birthday. So lots happening. Remember, ship all your cupcakes before the 23rd of March. Make sure you ship all your cupcakes, and the birthday event will be coming to a close on Monday, and the spring egg hunt will be starting next week as well. So thanks again for joining me. Happy hunting. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you a couple weeks from now.